clicking on this video. Hope you're having an awesome day. Thanks for taking some time every day to hang out with me. Today's video, we are unboxing and trying on the products from the TRENDMOOD NABLA TAKEOVER box. I will leave my TRENDMOOD box playlist to watch previous unboxings, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and give this video a like. Let's get unboxing. NABLA is a brand I haven't tried many products from. I own about 3 of their eyeshadow palettes, and I've only really used Dreamy 2, which I love. They have an incredible eyeshadow formula called a latex matte. I had no idea what that was until my girl Joy's Beauty Johns. She texted me and asked me if I had that palette. She wanted to know which shades were the latex matte ones. I didn't really think much of it because I've only done a palette bingo with it, and even though I did use one of the latex matte shades, I didn't realize it until I went to swatch to show Joy, and I was like, holy crap, this is smooth. And if they did an entire palette of that formula, I'd be content. Make it a good color story with that formula, add some shimmers too. Oh my gosh, dream come true. And inside the box, we got brushes, a glitter quad, I think this is their mascara, and then the new side-by-side palette. And if I'm not mistaken, the TRENDMOOD box pretty much was like around the price of the palette, so you can look as the brush, mascara, and glitter quad for free. Originally, I was thinking about passing up on this palette because it is a neutral palette, and I have my fair share of neutral palettes in my collection, but for what you paid for and the price and the items that you got, it was so tempting. I caved in, and I really wanted to try more products from NABLA. I know that they have some beautiful highlighters on Ulta's website that are constantly going in and out of stock, so I've always wanted to explore a little bit more of the brand based off of that experience. And this is what the inside of the side-by-side palette looks like. I've already gone ahead, filled in my brows, and put on some foundation. I'm going to do some swatches. We are going to pair the brushes with this palette to create a look. Bonjour, ray of light, halftime, a magic moment. Body and Soul, Paradiso, Beauty Mark, Clan. Burnt Sienna, Better Society, Cedarwood, Tempera. This is the only shade I have a little bit of concern for, just because the pigment goes only about halfway and it tails off towards the end. Other than that, so far everything has been super pigmented all the way through. Rarity, Love Ritual, Cubism, Untitled. And this is the entire palette swatched. Couple things I do want to highlight. I think Magic Moment is one of my favorite shades. It's funny because it looks a lot more pink when you look at it in the pan, but on the swatch, it definitely gives off more of that rose gold finish. The shade next to it, which is Body and Soul, definitely more of a topper shade. It is a super light shimmer. I think it'd be really great for like the inner corners, a halo look, maybe even highlighting the brow bone, but it's probably going to be a shade that you either apply using your finger, or if you do use a brush, perhaps wetting it just to help amplify it a little bit more. These two shades right here, Clan and Burnt Sienna, did have more of a dry feeling to it, especially Burnt Sienna. That's the only shade that really doesn't have pigment entirely through. It tails off about halfway through the swatch, and when I do my swatches, this is just my bare arm. There's no primer to act as a base, and I am swiping with my fingers as opposed to my lid being primed and applied with a brush. This is such a gorgeous shade. It definitely sticks out. And then can we talk about Untitled? Oh my gosh, I have been on the hunt for a really good matte black shadow. This did not disappoint at all. I kind of feared a little bit after swatching Burnt Sienna that it might end up the same. It did not, and it definitely had more of a smoother, softer texture to it than Burnt Sienna did. So I am running low. My beloved shady shadow from Lunar Beauty, which I do use a lot of for a lot of like my character inspired looks, and that one is about to hit pan anytime soon, so I'm definitely going to use this one as a contender just to see how it performs. But even though this is a more neutral palette, I really like it because part of it is cool, which is nice because I don't have that many cool tone palettes in my collection, so you kind of get like the best of both worlds of more of the cooler neutrals and warmer neutrals. And then I can't stop looking at this shade, Love Ritual, in my mirror. I'm like, oh, that is just so pretty. Like, I am drawn to that shade and Paradiso and Magic Moment. Not to take anything away from the beautiful shimmers from that palette, they might get overshadowed by the beautiful glitter quad. And this is what the quad looks like. If you have been following my channel for some time now, you probably know that I am not the biggest fan of pressed glitter. I used it one time in a tutorial reviewing the ColourPop Mulan collection and it backfired. But it is something that I do test out from time to time on my channel because I just don't want them to go to waste. Glitter is just one of those tricky subjects. Ruby, Capricorn, Virgo, Whisper. And this is what the glitters look like swatched. I think the shade Capricorn either just picked up better on my finger when I went to go swirl or what, but that one seemed to swatch the best. And then we have the brushes to help create the eye look. We have the Nabla N205 brush, the N303 brush, the N103, the N306, the N305, the N304, the N204, and lastly the N102. Without testing out the brushes yet, I think that this is a fantastic set. I really like how the brushes feel. They are all super soft and have some density to them. I like how you get a couple of crease and blending brushes to really blend out and diffuse your crease areas. And then you get a couple of shader brushes to pack on your shimmers or your glitters. And I feel like this brush could even smoke out the lower lash and then imply some highlighter shades in the inner corners. And I really am liking the shape of this brow slash eyeliner brush. It has a really nice angle to it to either fill in your brows or achieve like a nice sharp wing, and then it comes with a nice travel size case for your convenience. Taking the N306 brush, we're going to take the shade Burnt Sienna. This shade is going to be placed all over the crease. It has really nice pigment to it. I really like how fluffy this brush is. I only wish that this brush was maybe just a tad smaller since I do have hooded eyes and I prefer more smaller crease brushes for my eye looks. Although the shade has like a lot of pigment upon application, kind of just wants to stay there, so I'm having to find myself dip in to make sure that I have pigment all the way evenly distributed in the crease area. But now I can do some more blending motions now that I have pigment all where I want it to be. Probably will take more of a lighter shade like Halftime or Beauty Mark just to help diffuse any harshness that we may have. And for reference, my eyes are primed with the Urban Decay Potion Primer. But this shade isn't patchy. I just think it's a little stubborn. Like once it's on, it just wants to stay in this area. I think between the brush and the shade combo, things are blending out quite nice. Quickly going to clean off this brush since we are going to take it again. And now we're going to take Halftime. Halftime has a little bit of kick up while Burnt Sienna did not have any. And I'm just going to follow like the edges of where we put Burnt Sienna just to help diffuse. Taking N306, I'm going to take the shade Tempera, and this shade is going in the outer V, and this shade also had a little bit of kick up like Halftime did. And then I'm gonna take cedarwood for the lid. Very monochromatic, neutral look, but I didn't want to take away from any of the other shimmers that are in this palette since I am going to go in with the glitter. Everything that I used so far in this palette has blended out really nice. Really like having Halftime in here. I think that this is a really good multi-purpose shade if you like to set your eyeshadow primer and then go in with your looks, or to help clean up the crease like how I used it in my look. Burnt Sienna blended out really nice. Like I mentioned, it just wanted to stay in its respective area wherever you placed it, so it did have to be built up along the crease line. And then I really like Tempera a lot. It kind of was a little bit trickier to blend out, so definitely go in light-handed and work your way, but once it blended out, it's super nice. I was a little afraid of the harshness between it and Burnt Sienna. Cedarwood is really pretty. It's kind of getting hidden and lost in the look right now, but it's because I purposely did that because I think any of the shimmers would have looked pretty. It's just because their stage light would have been overshadowed with the glitter that we're gonna go in next. The heart is telling me Capricorn, but I feel like Whisper might work out better for the kind of look that we have going on right now. I think that shade is absolutely fun and stunning on the lids. I'm gonna take my House Laboratories liquid liner for my lid and then my Dose of Colors eyeliner for my waterline. I'm thinking of taking Clan for the lower lash, and I'll be using the 303 brush. I think I found a new favorite lower lash brush, and it is this. It just glides the shadows on really nice under here. And then lastly, Magic Moment for the inner corners. May or may not have to wet. Oh yeah, probably does. There it goes. Before I take lashes, I want to try their mascara just to see how my lashes look. I need all the lengthening and volumizing for my lashes. And this is what the wand looks like. Off of a first coat, I see it more lengthening than volumizing. I haven't put on mascara first and then lashes, so we'll see how that goes over. For lashes, I'm going to take the Style Remy by Ruby May. I definitely needed a little bit of lash, but I didn't want a super dramatic style to take away from the lid. A lot of the style lashes that I like definitely hide my lid, and I wanted my lid to be the focal point of this look. Lastly, I'm going to take my Tarte Pro Glow palette to bronze, blush, and highlight. And then the ColourPop Bullet Lipstick in the shade Slow Dance. Just a quick recap, I am so far really enjoying the side-by-side palette by Nabla. I think that this created a really nice neutral look. I think it's like a great palette for work, school, interviews, whatever it may be. And it offers the best of both worlds of creating more of a cool tone look or a more warmer neutral look. So far so good. I know I didn't use the entire palette yet, but the shades that I did use did not run into any issues. I'm not sure how often I will gravitate towards these glitters. I definitely just wanted to highlight them in this video. And with this look being a lot more neutral, it definitely took this look up a notch with like how vibrant, reflective that the glitter is. The mascara was just okay. I definitely see myself needing to pair it with like a lash primer, like my Lancome XL Booster. But I think it would be a good one to help blend in your natural lashes with your falsies. And so far, I really like the brushes. The brush that I took for my lower lash line was my favorite brush so far. The crease brush is just a tad too big for my hooded eyes. I definitely see it being more of a cleaning up the crease shade, like how we took Halftime. I would love to know, have you guys tried any Nabla products? What are some of your favorites and your recommendations? I would love to know in the comments below. What is your favorite eyeshadow palette? Do you love that latex matte formula as much as me and Joy do? Did you pick up the TRENDMOOD NABLA Takeover box? What were some of your favorite items? What are some of your favorite color combinations in these side-by-side palettes? Are you guys looking forward to more Nabla releases and TRENDMOOD boxes? Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you don't, I appreciate your view anyways, and I'll see you in the next video.